Have you ever felt an inexplicable weight pressing on your shoulders, Virgo? A nagging fear of imperfection, of failure, or perhaps a silent worry that you're not doing enough for the people around you? You're not alone. As a Virgo, your meticulous mind strives for perfection and order, but underneath it all, there are fears shaping your every thought and action. Fears you may not even realize are holding you back. In this video, we're shedding light on your deepest Virgo fears. From the constant pressure to be flawless to the anxiety that arises from losing control. These fears can feel overwhelming, but they don't have to define you. Get ready to explore why these feelings exist, how they influence your everyday life, and more importantly, how you can overcome them step by step. By understanding these challenges, you'll uncover the true power that lies within your analytical mind and caring heart. So Virgo, if these topics resonate with you, be sure to stay with us until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any new insights about your sign. And of course, leave a like to support us. It really means the world. Let's dive deep into your fears and embark on a journey of understanding and growth together. The relentless pursuit of perfection, Virgo's greatest anxiety. For Virgos, perfection often feels like a necessary standard. Your careful nature and detail-focused mindset push you to aim for a flawless result in everything you do. But what happens when life throws imperfections your way? This unattainable pursuit can lead to feelings of inadequacy, frustration, and even a sense of failure for not meeting your own sky-high expectations. The weight of this internal pressure can quickly spiral into overthinking, leaving you stuck in a loop of worry. The truth is, no one sets harsher standards for you than yourself. Deep down, this relentless chase for perfection stems from a fear of being judged or perceived as lacking. It's almost as if every misstep or error reflects poorly on who you are as a person. This inner dialogue can make even small mistakes feel monumental, amplifying your anxiety and calling your abilities into question. Instead of finding pride in your accomplishments, you might end up fixating on what could have been better. What many Virgos forget is that perfection doesn't define your worth. Think back to times when you gave it your all, imperfections and all. Didn't the effort itself mean something? It's important to recognize that striving for excellence is admirable, but perfection itself is an illusion. Embracing this shift in mindset could help you unlock a pathway to self-acceptance and peace. Learning to let go is no easy task for you, Virgo, but it might be the key to relieving your anxiety. Start small. Allow yourself to complete a task, knowing it doesn't have to be flawless. Over time, practice this in areas of your life that matter less to you. You'll begin to notice how freeing it is to move forward without perfection chaining you down. Progress, not perfection, is where growth happens. By accepting imperfections as a natural part of life, you'll begin to see the beauty in them. They make you human, relatable, and ironically perfect in your own way. Let this realization empower you to redefine what success and happiness mean outside of the impossibly perfect image you've been chasing. Fear of loneliness, breaking down emotional barriers. Despite your reserved and independent nature, Virgo, the fear of solitude can be a deeply uncomfortable feeling. You may hesitate to let people in, worried that opening up might make you vulnerable. Over time, this can create emotional walls, blocking genuine connections, and increasing the isolation you dread. Even when surrounded by people, a distance often lingers within you, stemming from the fear of being truly seen or misunderstood. This fear usually grows because you overanalyze relationships and hold yourself to unrealistic standards. You weigh every word, every action, wondering if they were enough. This self-imposed scrutiny can make you feel like you're failing to connect, even when you care deeply. It's a vicious cycle. The more you pull back to avoid rejection, the harder it gets to foster meaningful bonds. But here's the truth. Meaningful connections come from authenticity, not perfection. Nobody expects you to have all the right answers, Virgo. In fact, true intimacy often grows in moments of vulnerability. Allowing yourself to share your thoughts, fears, and dreams can create the deep, fulfilling relationships you secretly crave. The key is choosing wisely. Trust those who value your heart and effort, not only your achievements. A helpful step is opening up in small, manageable ways. Start by sharing something personal with someone you trust, even if it feels minor. Over time, you'll realize that genuine people aren't looking for perfection from you, just authenticity. Being open also provides you with a sense of freedom, reducing the loneliness caused by emotional barriers. As you learn to give yourself permission to let people in, you'll see that relationships are not about flawless communication or never making mistakes. They're about being human together. Remember, Virgo, you deserve the love and connection you give so freely to others. Trust yourself, and the right people will value you for who you are, not for who you think you need to be. Stagnation scares the Virgo drive to keep evolving. For someone as growth-focused as you, Virgo, the idea of stagnation can be terrifying. You have a natural hunger for progress, whether it's mastering a skill, achieving career success, or improving your personal life. But when circumstances don't seem to move forward or progress feels out of reach, your mind wrestles with feelings of frustration and even failure. Stagnation can feel like the ultimate trap for a Virgo who thrives on purpose and momentum. This fear doesn't just arise from external situations. It's deeply tied to your internal drive. You tend to measure your worth by your productivity and achievements. When things slow down, or you don't see immediate results, a voice inside may tell you that you're wasting time or not doing enough. This pressure adds unnecessary stress and can lead to burnout if left unchecked. But Virgo, here's something important to consider. Even rest is progress. Sometimes, life doesn't move forward visibly because it's giving you space to reflect and recharge. Growth doesn't have to be constant action. It can be quiet moments of learning, healing, or simply planning for what's to come. A seed doesn't grow overnight, but it doesn't mean it isn't alive and thriving beneath the surface. Use periods of stagnation as opportunities to reset your priorities and explore new paths. Ask yourself, are you clinging to routines or goals that no longer serve you? This quiet time might be the universe's way of nudging you towards something more aligned with your true desires. Instead of resisting stagnation, try embracing it as an essential part of your journey. By reframing stillness as a valuable phase, you'll detach from the fear it carries and begin to find peace with where you are. Remember, Virgo, life is not a race. It's a series of chapters, each with its own purpose. Trust that your story is unfolding exactly as it should, even if the pace doesn't match your expectations. The pressure of helping others, balancing duty and self-worth. One of your most admirable traits, Virgo, is your genuine desire to help others. You thrive on being useful and dependable, and you find deep satisfaction in solving problems for those you care about. However, this noble instinct often comes with a heavy burden. You may place so much pressure on yourself to be of service that you begin to feel your worth is tied solely to how much you give. This can lead to exhaustion and even feelings of resentment, although you'd rarely admit it. At the heart of this pressure lies a fear of letting people down. You hold yourself to impossibly high standards to ensure that you never fail those who rely on you. But here's the thing, Virgo. Trying to be everything for everyone isn't just unsustainable. It's also unnecessary. The people who truly love you value you for who you are, not just what you can do for them. It's crucial to set boundaries, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Taking care of yourself doesn't mean you're neglecting others. In fact, it allows you to show up for them in a more meaningful way. By prioritizing your needs, you'll find that your energy and compassion aren't so easily depleted. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Start small. Maybe you delay helping with a favor until you've had time to rest, or explain that you need a moment for yourself before tackling someone else's problem. Each time you honor your limits, you reinforce the idea that your worth isn't determined solely by your usefulness. It's a step toward a healthier balance between giving and self-care. Overcoming this fear requires remembering that there's strength in saying no, and in recognizing that your value doesn't depend on meeting everyone else's needs. Allow yourself the grace to sometimes be the priority, Virgo. You deserve it as much as anybody else. Chaos versus order. The Virgo need for control and structure. For Virgo, order isn't just a preference, it's a lifeline. You function best in environments where everything is planned, organized, and predictable. Chaos, unpredictability, and unexpected changes can feel like losing control, triggering anxiety and self-doubt. It's not uncommon for you to go above and beyond to restore order, even in situations where you have little influence. This need for structure stems from your deep desire for stability and security. When everything is in place, it gives you confidence and peace of mind. However, life is inherently messy, and no matter how much effort you put into planning, there will always be unexpected twists and turns. Facing this reality can feel overwhelming, but it also holds the potential to strengthen your adaptability. One way to tackle this fear is to accept that not all chaos is harmful. Some of it can even lead to exciting possibilities that you couldn't have predicted. Every disrupted plan or unexpected challenge has a lesson. These moments often test your resilience and teach you the beauty of letting go. When chaos strikes, try reframing the experience as an opportunity to grow rather than something to fear. Creating flexibility in your routines can also help ease your anxiety. Give yourself room to adapt by leaving spaces in your plans for spontaneity, rather than trying to control every detail. By doing this, you'll begin to see that order and chaos can coexist and even complement each other. It's in these spaces that creativity and unexpected joy often flourish. Finding peace within the unknown takes practice, but it's worth the effort. Life's unpredictability doesn't diminish your ability to thrive. If anything, it enhances your strength and resourcefulness. Trust that even when things seem chaotic, you are fully capable of navigating whatever comes your way, Virgo. Health obsessions. When worry becomes a Virgo's kryptonite. Virgos are known for their dedication to wellness and self-care. But let's be honest, sometimes, your concerns about health can spiral into full-blown anxiety. Whether it's constantly monitoring your diet, overanalyzing every ache and pain, or worrying about future illnesses, these fears can take a toll on your mental well-being. A small symptom might quickly snowball into an imagined worst-case scenario, keeping you trapped in a cycle of worry. This tendency is rooted in your natural inclination for precision and detail. Your sharp mind is always looking for patterns and problems, which serves you well in many areas of life. But when it comes to health, it can lead to hypervigilance. The more you focus on potential issues, the harder it becomes to step back and see the bigger picture, often leaving you stressed over things that might not even be real concerns. Remember, Virgo, balance is key. Caring about your health is important, but it shouldn't dominate your thoughts. A great starting point is grounding yourself in facts. Consult trusted professionals and avoid overindulging in online symptom searches, which often escalate fears unnecessarily. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is remind yourself that not every sensation or change in your body is a sign of something serious. Practicing mindfulness can also help you manage these fears. Engage in activities that calm your mind, such as meditation, journaling, or simply stepping away from health-related thoughts when they become overwhelming. By focusing on the present moment, you can redirect your attention to the aspects of life that bring you joy and peace. Trust in your resilience and your ability to care for yourself without overthinking every detail. Your body and mind are stronger than you often believe. Health is a journey, not a destination, and making space for balance will allow you to enjoy life without being dominated by fear. The sting of criticism. How Virgos internalize every word. As a Virgo, your attention to detail and desire to excel make you thrive in many areas of life. But one thing you struggle with is criticism. Even when the feedback is constructive, it can sting deeply, as if someone is pointing out a flaw in your very essence. You replay the words over and over in your head, dissecting them until they feel bigger than they actually are. This sensitivity often causes unnecessary stress and affects your self-image. This reaction stems from your own high expectations. You hold yourself to such rigorous standards that any form of critique feels like confirmation of your inner doubts. The irony is that you're often your own harshest critic, spotting imperfections long before anyone else does. Hearing those observations from others, however, seems to amplify what you already fear about yourself. What you may not realize, Virgo, is that criticism is rarely a personal attack. More often than not, it's an opportunity for growth, a way to improve and refine your already impressive skills. If you shift your perspective and see feedback as a tool rather than an insult, it can empower you instead of bringing you down. To manage this fear, pause before reacting to criticism. Ask yourself, is this about me as a person, or is it about one small action or result? Separating your identity from the critique helps you approach it with a clearer mind. Remember, feedback is just information, not a measure of your worth. By learning to take criticism in stride, you'll unlock an even greater version of yourself. Embrace it as part of your journey. After all, refinement is one of your strengths. Rather than shying away, lean into the discomfort and prove to yourself that it's not something to fear but something to master. Unpredictability unleashed. The Virgo fear of losing control. You pride yourself on staying in control, Virgo. Your carefully planned routines and calculated decisions give you a sense of security, allowing you to navigate life with precision. But when sudden changes or unforeseen events disrupt your stability, that fear of losing control creeps in. You may feel powerless, overwhelmed, or even paralyzed by the chaos of unpredictability, unable to quickly adapt. This fear arises because you associate control with safety and success. Letting go feels risky, as if everything will fall apart without your constant management. But here's the thing. Life is full of surprises, and resisting them only fuels anxiety. Flexibility doesn't equal failure. It's a sign of strength and resilience. Accepting unpredictability begins by allowing yourself to be more spontaneous in small ways. Skip your usual routine one day, say yes to an unexpected plan, or let someone else take charge of a situation. These moments will help you see that great things can happen even when you're not controlling every detail. When difficult unpredictability strikes, whether in work, relationships, or life goals, remind yourself that you've faced challenges before and have always found a way through. Reflect on past experiences where adapting led to unexpected success. Trusting your ability to problem solve eases the fear and prepares you to handle whatever comes next. Learning to embrace uncertainty is a journey, but it opens the door to possibilities you'd never discover otherwise. Change doesn't have to be your enemy, Virgo. It can be the very force that propels you toward growth and new horizons. The fear of being overlooked, craving recognition for hard work. Virgo, your dedication and hard work rarely go unnoticed, but the thought of being underappreciated or overlooked is a lingering fear you carry. You pour your heart and soul into every task, often going above and beyond what's expected. So when your efforts aren't recognized, it can feel like a blow to your sense of purpose and value. This fear often stems from your belief that actions speak louder than words. You invest a lot of energy into being reliable and efficient, hoping these traits will naturally earn the respect and admiration of others. However, when your work or kindness doesn't receive acknowledgement, it may make you wonder if your contributions matter at all. The truth is, people may not always express gratitude in ways you expect, but that doesn't diminish the value of your efforts. Recognition can come in different forms, and sometimes it's simply reflected in the opportunities and trust others place in you. Learn to celebrate your own accomplishments instead of waiting for external validation. If you feel undervalued, don't hesitate to communicate your feelings. Open discussions with colleagues, friends, or loved ones can bring attention to your contributions in a positive way. It's not about demanding praise, but creating an environment where mutual appreciation is encouraged. Above all, remind yourself that your worth isn't determined by how others perceive you. The work you do and the love you give are meaningful because of who you are, not because of what it earns you in return. By embracing this truth, you'll find fulfillment that no external recognition could ever replace. Guilt and the need to help. Virgo's inner conflict. Virgo, you have a heart of gold when it comes to helping others. But along with this nurturing spirit comes an overwhelming fear, the dread of not doing enough. You set high standards for yourself as a caregiver, constantly worrying that you've missed something or could have done better for those who depend on you. This guilt can weigh heavily on your heart, often leading to feelings of inadequacy. This fear usually isn't about real failures. It's more about the expectations you place on yourself. You want to make life better for everyone, but the truth is, some things are out of your control. By taking full responsibility for others' happiness, you end up overburdened and drained, which only exacerbates your guilt when you're too exhausted to continue giving. What you need to remember is that being helpful doesn't mean sacrificing yourself entirely. Even small acts of kindness are meaningful, and no one person can fix everything for everyone. Your desire to help is admirable, but it needs to exist within the boundaries of what's healthy and sustainable for you. Next time you feel guilt creeping in, ask yourself, are you holding yourself to an impossible standard? Reflect on all the good you've already done and recognize that it's okay to step back sometimes. Those who truly care about you will understand that everyone has limits, even someone as dedicated as you. By prioritizing your well-being, you'll find that your care and assistance become even more impactful. Let go of the guilt that ties you to unrealistic expectations. You're already a force of good in the lives of those around you, and nothing will change that, even if you take a much-needed break to recharge. Closing thoughts. Virgo, facing your deepest fears isn't easy, but it's the first step toward reclaiming your inner peace and confidence. These fears, whether of imperfection, criticism, or losing control, don't define you, nor do they diminish your incredible strengths. Instead, they are opportunities to understand yourself on a deeper level. By confronting them with compassion and courage, you'll unlock personal growth and new paths forward, leaving behind the weight of expectations you were never meant to carry alone. As you move forward, remember that your value is not tied to how much you do, how perfect you are, or how much control you keep. Your true worth lies in your authenticity, kindness, and resilience. Embrace the imperfections and uncertainties of life, knowing they are what make you human, and paradoxically, perfect in your own unique way. Celebrate your progress, however small, and recognize the beauty in simply being yourself. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What resonated with you? What fears do you feel ready to face? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay connected, and check out our upcoming videos about the sign of Taurus by clicking on the video or playlist appearing on your screen now. Thank you for taking this journey with us, Virgo.